Oops. Pressed the wrong button first, but here we are. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the last and final stream. At least for this week. Just for this week. Odin Tabris and Reaper of Heroes, thank you for the subs even before the stream has started. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, Hero Pawn Riki, thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Prego, thank you for the full year. Appreciate that. See you in Dortmund. I do tend to sign cards at YCSs. Yeah, if people just come up and ask nicely, I will sign the card. Yeah. Chris7, thank you for the 13 months. Appreciate that. All right, yeah, like you can already tell from the stream title. Like you can already tell from this from the stream title, it's gonna be the last stream before Dortmund. Mr. Never Available. Okay, I'm sorry, dude. It's been a busy couple weeks. I know I've been lacking on the testing time the last couple days, but it's gonna be fine. I have time today and sometime tomorrow for some final preparations. Straßenverkehrsordnung, thank you for the 4 months. Appreciate that. All right. Yeah, as you guys know, we are doing the deck doctor today. A little bit later down the line, people have been submitting decks, and we're going to be taking a look at them. That's going to be the main portion of the content for today. I have some other stuff lined up. We're probably also going to watch the 2009 TCG recap today. I'm already looking forward to that. I'm not going to lie. After watching the 2008 yesterday, I really want to do the sequel today. We're probably going to do that. We're probably going to do that later. Farfa is free, by the way. I saw that it ended. What was it, like 6 in the morning? 6 in the morning today. The Farfa subathon has finally ended. That is crazy. That was like, what was that? 20 freaking days? That's crazy. Thank you, Tyraman Strongest. We're gonna talk about Tyraman Strongest a little bit. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Are you continuing the subathon? I am not continuing the Farfa subathon right after he finishes. No. Like I said, a subathon is something that I kind of want to do. It sounds kind of hype, but at the same time, I'm kind of scared to do it. But we'll see. I'll probably set it up for some time. I'll have to think when the best possible, opportunity would be to actually do it. But it might happen eventually. There's nothing concrete planned though yet. So, Jonas Twitchak, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate that. All right. We shall begin. Today is the day where we are not washed, surely. So we're gonna be doing hella card guessing right now. Blade Ushia, thank you for the prime. It's not Soul Release. Soul Reversal. No. This one? I've seen it. It's not Soul Taker, is it? Soul Rope. I knew it was something Soul. I knew it was something. I think this is this. Yeah. Deck Doctor is TCG right today, Chaos Piper. We're doing TCG today simply because YCS Dortmund is coming up. But I have a Deck Doctor for Master Duel planned. I'm probably gonna wait for the next booster set to release just so the format changes a little bit. And then we're gonna do that. Feather of the Phoenix. This one I have seen. I know it's like one of those goofy commons, but I don't know what it's called. Ooh. That one looks very familiar. Dimension something, yeah. Oh, is this Goddess of Sweet Revenge? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, World Legacy, World Chalice. This one. Yeah. Oh, this is a rocket. This is a rocket. However, maybe this? Exploder rocket? Exploder rocket. It's Karakuri. Yo, Cheeky Mike, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Glad you can finally be here. Thank you. It's a Karakuri spell, but I don't know which one it is. It's Gamma Oil. All right. I okay. I think we're gonna be. Which one is that? Alpha? No. Gamma? Is it beta? It's beta. Oh. Dark. What is he called? Is it Dark Titan of Terror? No. What is he called? He's like something Terra. Terra the Terrible. That's the one. Not Dark Terra. Terra the Terrible. Oh, Aramateer. What are these cards? See, I actually want to try, but I've never seen these cards before. What the hell is a Penguin Cleric? Come on, dude. Hat Tricker. Even though I'm not sure. Yeah, it's Hat Tricker on another card, dude. Fuck that. Yeah, it's Hat... No, it's not Hat Tricker. Oh, God, dude. What the hell is this? Okay, this one I have probably. This one looks like an amazement thingy. Or Bis Actor, some shit. Appliance. Oh my god, dude. Mech Knight. Yellow Star? No. Spectrum. I knew it was a Mech Knight. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Come on, this round is the definition of who Megalol. This is a Gishki mirror. It's not photo mirror. Is it just Gishki mirror? No, that doesn't exist. Necro mirror? Is it Aqua mirror? No. Yeah. Oh, it's just Aqua mirror. Okay. This is gonna be a record low. Oh, this is Arborea. I think even for the cards that I do know, I need too many zooms. Because I'm only getting like 20 points per card. How am I supposed to get 1,000 points like that? I need to be better at getting these cards with only one zoom or no zooms. That's the thing. I always need, I need at least 2 zooms. Okay, this one I just don't know, I don't think. Yeah. But it's like, I need to be better at guessing cards like right here. Like this is a Red Eyes. However... Or is it not even a Red Eyes? Is it just Dark Blaze Dragon? Oh, okay. See, I'm not good enough at guessing them right here. I need to guess them right here, and then maybe there's a chance to get better. Weather painter, dude, stop with that. Okay, what is that? Sylvan, maybe? I always need the second zoom. I always need it. Okay, it's a Predaplant, I think. But those, I have no idea. It's not even one of the good ones, I don't think. Yeah, you didn't even play that one. It could be Mount Sylvania. No. Is it Elborz? That's the one. Okay, this one, this Predaplant I know. This one I know. But I still needed 2 zooms for that. Why did I need 2 zooms for Verte Anaconda, dude? Why? Rabby Dragon, right? What is it called? Rabbit. Is only 1B? Oh, come on. Why? Why is it only 1B? It makes no sense. Retaliating. Am I dumb? What is this? Which one is it? Oh, it's Tornado Bird again. That happened like 2 days ago. I've been baited the exact same way 2 days ago by freaking Tornado Bird. Exact same card. Freaking hate Tornado Bird. Magical something. Okay, this time it's Abductor. Oh my god. Last time I thought it was Abductor and it was something. This time it's Abductor. Oh my. I'm actually molding. I'm actually molding. This is something of the normal. Revenge? No, it's human wave tactics, right? Doppel Warrior? Who is this? Oh, this is a gladiator beast. I'm skipping that. I don't know which one that is. Those are not my gladiator beasts anymore. This is Speedroid Menko. Don't ask me why I know that. This might be Rage of the Normals or Revenge of the Normals. What is this called? It's the Angry Mookie Mookies. Smackdown. Maddie Naps, thank you for the full year. Appreciate that. There's a lot of people. I realized that this month specifically, there's a lot of people coming in with like the full year subscriptions. I really appreciate that. We've come a long way. Thank you so much for being here. What the hell is this? I mean, I've seen it. Well, what Black Mamba? Yeah. What are you? Give me cards I've seen before. What is a Starship Spy Plane? Oh, I don't know these cards. How am I supposed to guess them? Is this Chemi Critter support? I think it is. Oh, who Megalol? Oh, Firecracker. Kaleidoscope. I think this is called Desert. No, it's not Desert Twister. It's something Tornado. Tornado. Wild Tornado? Wild Tornado. Xeon, thank you for the 15. Appreciate you. Chrysalis. Is it one of those? No. I don't think it's one of the monsters. Yeah, I don't know what it's called because this is not one of the monsters. It has something to do with them. Cocoon Rebirth. Who are you? Gaia? Question mark? Right? How many? Oh my god! How many got? No, okay. Nah, screw that. Oh, it's not even called Gaia, dude. It's not even called Gaia. Side blocker. I'm suffering today. I'm suffering today. Is this just Crystal? It's not Crystal Pegasus, though. What's up with the bait today? It's not Crystal Pegasus. It's the card that has Crystal Pegasus on it. What the hell is a Crystal Miracle? Oh, is this Baby Dragon? Please, I need it. I need a no zoom success. Oh, not even that. Yeah. What the hell is this? It's not Skill Drain. It's not a deal with Dark Ruler. Is it deal with Dark Ruler? Is it deal? It is deal. I even sit here specifically saying it's not deal with Dark Ruler, and it's just that. What the hell is this? Oh, Fortress Dragon. I didn't know it had that many heads. I didn't know that. Today I learned. Today I learned Fortress Dragon had that many heads. I didn't know that. What is this? Is this Rika something? No. Oh, it's a trap fix. Okay. Yep. Magispector Gamma, I think. Ogama. Yep. Oh, get out. This one I know. Light of Justice? Court of Justice. Court of Justice. Not Light of Justice. Yep. I've seen this. I think that's a... Is that a dynamo? Is this... Is it this? No. Magma. Dragon. Yeah, okay. That's a tuner, right? Nah, that... Forget this round, dude. We never talk about... We do not speak about what happened here. This one was actually washed. This one was actually washed. This one was horrible. However, I will say, as he proceeds to talk about it right after saying, let's not talk about it, there was a lot of freaking, like, baits in this one. Like, freaking, yeah. Anyways. Level 4 Dark Monster with 1500 attack points. Low defense. Newer than 2015. Level 4 Dark. It's not Ray. Sarama is a level 3. It's not Ray because it's not a warrior and it's less than 1500 defense, chat. Are you capable of reading, of looking at the screen? Chupacabra? It could be Chupacabra. Ooh. Not just an effect monster, though. It is a fiend monster. It is a fiend monster. And it's level 4 with 1500 attack. What does that mean? Is it Is it a synchro? Is it an XYZ? A rank 4 XYZ. That sounds about right. Level 4 Fiend. Oh, right. No, it's not an XYZ because wrongo. Right. My bad. So it would have to be a synchro, ritual. It can't be a link monster because it has defense points. It could be a pendulum. It could be a pendulum. I don't think this one... Yeah, this one is too old and it's got too much attack points. Can be a tuner. It could be a tuner, yeah. What about Abyss Actor? You guys are spamming Abyss Actors. I have no idea what kind of stats Abyss Actors have. So there is a level 4, 1500 attack, but it's from 2016, and it's... that the year has to be higher than that. Let me check. Can it be 1500? No, it's not 1500 defense. Because this thing is apparently from the year 9999. But it's, I don't see anything here that fits. I don't see anything that fits. Nouvelle? Are the Nouvelle Fiend? Is the level 4 Nouvelle a Fiend? No, it's not. No, it's not. Also, the Nouvelle cards are apparently from the past, because the game has them listed as 1970. Yeah, Nouvelle was my grandma's favorite deck back in her day. Level 4 Fiend, dude. A Tomb Master, thank you for the full year, appreciate that. And Onik Funai, thank you for the 4 months, thank you. A DDD? It could be a DDD. Which is DD Griffin? DD Griffin is a level 4 Fiend, but it's got... Let's see if it's a pendulum. Okay, it's a pendulum. It's a pendulum. I knew it couldn't be this, but we now know it's a pendulum. What other DD is there? What is the year? 2022. 2022, very recently. Level 4 pendulum from 2022. Dude, I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's no shot. I haven't played Pendulum in 6 years, dude. What happened last year for Pendulums? Draco Slayer? It's a fiend though, right? So it's not. It's definitely not a Draco Slayer. They are not fiends. The one from Cyberstorm Axis. What do you mean the one from Cyberstorm Axis? DD Cerberus? D Cerberus. DD Cerberus. That's from 2017. It's probably this, right? I think you're probably right. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've seen this before, but I'm never ever thinking of this card. Like, I'm never ever thinking of this card when it comes to this game. Like, actual Who Mega LOL moment again. Okay, is everyone ready for a little lecture? Because we tend to read these cards when we haven't seen them before, so let's go. If you control no monsters, or all monsters you control are pendulum monsters, and you have Performapal Lady Ange in your other pendulum zone, you can add one Odd Eyes card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Performapal Gentrude once per turn. If this card is destroyed, you can place one Performapal Pendulum monster from your deck in your pendulum zone, except Performapal Gentrude. If this card is face up in your extra deck, you can discard one pendulum monster, add this card to your hand. Then you can return one Performapal or Odd Eyes card from your pendulum zone to the hand. You can only use one Performapal Gentrude monster effect per turn and only once that turn. Whew. I wonder why people aren't fans of Pendulum, especially new players. I wonder why that could be. Does anyone know? I don't think anyone knows. All right, let's go. Okay, but what does it do? I'm not gonna lie. I did not try to comprehend a little. If you put a gun to my head right now and tell me what Performapal Gentrude does, I'm dead. And that's why new people struggle with Yu-Gi-Oh. Jackie, thank you for the 3 months and the kind words. Appreciate that. I have look at what my Discord did to me last night. Look at what I had to see this morning on my Discord. Look what they're doing. Look what you guys are doing. Stream bingo. Is it that predictable? The thing is, I think we've done like 2 or 3 out of these things already today. Okay, what's on here? Chat, you know I can't leave sealed product unopened. That I do say this almost every time we we open something up. That is true. Okay, OBS crashes during YG Ortal. We did avoid that. You were wrong. You don't get a little cross on your. You don't get a little cross on your bingo card for that. What does this even mean? Colossal fight. What does that mean? Free my boy Ronin. I don't think I say that often. Lokai is planned circular. I mean, true, but that does not come up very often. Financial advisor Josh, troll to spare. We don't talk about that. One more game. That happens sometimes. I'm taking the train. Okay. I just said that. If people think branded is tier 1, it'll automatically never be tier 1. All right. Fountain is at 2. Us runic enjoyers have suffered enough. True. Actually true, though. Like, actually, factually correct. My food is cold. Sag, this happens every time. This only happens, though, because I prioritize the content over just eating my food, right? It's just like I'll be busy doing something on stream and I get food, and then I'll be like, okay, well, let me finish what I'm doing before eating the food, and then my food gets cold, right? So I do that for you guys. Let's start with the warm-up. Yeah, what else am I supposed to say? It always happens when I say it. I refuse to PPD when Mathmic is on the screen. It's tier list Thursday, no narcs. Thank you, Tierman's strongest. As you guys know, I don't want to give away what I'm playing for the YCS. Well, yeah. Boring one-card Cybers decks. True. Why are we gifting subs to insert Floodgate? Okay, this, thankfully, we're not doing that often anymore. Those streams were crazy, where people would just start gifting freaking subs to people on Twitch. Who names themselves Skill Drain on Twitch? They probably just do that so that I freaking that they can gift subs to them on my stream or some shit. Like you name yourself after any Floodgate or any like math. If you make an account with the word circular in it on stream, you're gonna have a sub. Like, that's a life hack, chat. If you want to be sub to this channel but you don't want to pay for the sub, or you don't have a prime available, all you have to freaking do is name yourself Mathmech Circular Andy on Twitch, and you're gonna have a sub in like no time. There's like, it's so easy. It's actually so easy. You're gonna be at this point you're gonna be at like a freaking 15-month streak or something. Like, it's actually so easy. Manadium Primeheart has a special defensive. Okay, that's a classic almost. Paleo's best trap deck. Consistency hit do not change the power level of a deck. Okay, we did that yesterday. Salamangrid is a pyro deck based. Josh, is this the Xth time you've taken Runic to show and tell? Okay, this was funny. All right, Anonymous Gifter gifted a sub to Ronin Toden. Appreciate that. And Fields Bard gifting a sub to Pokemon's Feet. You should have taken advantage of the feature where you can do the anonymous gifter thing before gifting a sub to Pokemon's Feet. Fields Bard. That's what you should have done. What the person after you did was they I don't know how you do it, but there's some option on Twitch where you can do like where it doesn't say the name, right? And it says anonymous gifter gifted a tier 1 sub to Ronin Toden. You should have done that. That's how you should have done. Well, the problem is you can't ask the person that did that how to do that, but just so you know for next time, there appears to be a checkbox somewhere where if next time you have the urge to give the sub to Pokemon's Feet, you probably check that box. Anyways, I thought this was funny when I saw it this morning. I thought this was funny. All right. There's one other thing. There's one other thing we need to talk about. And that's this. This is OCG has a problem and we need to talk about it because friggin' the OCG ban list. The OCG ban list literally, I don't think there's a world in which they freaking stop. Like, I don't know what's going on in the OCG right now. I don't have any words for it. I have no idea what's happening. But they can just not be stopped from playing tournaments. They will simply not stop. This is the freaking... How many ban lists is it now, chat? How many ban lists is it now that I have said freaking I don't think they will keep playing tournaments? And then the very next day, Twitter, Road of the King, whatever, is just full with tournaments winning locals and shit like that. I have no idea what's going on anymore. I don't understand. I have no idea. Like, what is it about tournaments that they just keep playing that deck? This deck looks like a freaking goat control era deck. Like, if you look at a deck list from like 2005 or 2006 or anything like that, you will have like all the limited cards in there. Like, you know, every deck has like that one Sangan, one Spirit Reaper, one Pot of Greed, one Graceful, one... This is tournaments in 2023. And this even... Let me see. I think they won a tournament. Yeah, they won some official tournament. I don't know exactly. Okay, this is German, but I'm translating for you. They won some official tournament. I don't know exactly what it was. I have no idea what it was that they won. But freaking... Like... What does it take for them to stop playing tournaments? What does it take, dude? I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, literally, how many one-ofs is this? There's one Sharon, one Rhino, one Havness, one Merly, one Tournaments Kashtira. Not because they want to do that, because all 5 of them are limited. One of this thing. You have a random one unicorn with one birth and one field spell. This is just Highlander. Commander looking ass. Commander looking ass. Dude, this is so funny to me. It's so funny. What is it about the... what is this? This was full power tier, by the way. This was full power tier. And this is why I wanted them to limit Scream as well. They should have limited Scream. That would have been phenomenal. That would have been great. They should have limited Tailman's Scream as well, just for completion's sake. You know, someone has to have, like, yeah, you know, someone at Konami needs to have the OCD to limit Scream and limit Saliak. Like, who cares? Let's just do it. Arguably the best card in the deck, by the way. The best card in the deck is Maxi. The best card is still at 3. Everything else got hit on the ban list. The best card is still here. Bro, I don't even know what to say anymore. But OCG, I'm begging you, please get new cards. Play new decks, please. This deck doesn't even look that good. Just play new cards. I don't know what it is that you just hate about playing new cards, but just do it. Please play a different deck. Because a ban list can't stop them anymore. That's been established. The ban list cannot stop them from playing tier elements. It's not possible anymore, right? Literally not possible. So at this point, it's just, you just have to ask them nicely to stop playing. That's the only thing that Konami has left. That's the only thing they can do. Konami can be like, yeah, okay, apparently we can't stop you from playing tier elements with the ban list. So please stop. Please. Because you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen when they ban, like, all the names? If they ban all the tier limit names, I think the OCG just dies, right? They just stop playing. They just play like Time Wizard format 2022. Right? That's the biggest format from now on. If they ban all the tier names, they just start playing Time Wizard. Time Wizard OCG is the only format that's left if they ban all the tiers, I think. It's like they don't want to. They don't want to. Because clearly it's not because the deck is that good. Because look at this pile. It's not that good. There's no way this is a consistent Yu-Gi-Oh deck in 2023. There's no way this is better than like the other decks that they have. They're just doing it because they want to. So they can't be stopped. They cannot be stopped. I am so confused. I am so confused. Try one hand on DB. All right, let's. Okay, that's a fire idea. Okay, hold up. Okay, we're gonna go best case scenario. Best case scenario, we're gonna go first, and we're going to be uninterrupted. And we're gonna see if we can, you know, what happens. We're gonna see what happens. Let me build this. All right. Tier Laments. All right, we have one Havness, one Merly, one Sharon, one Rhino Heart, one Tier Laments Cash Tier. One of this, one of this. We have one Grief, one Scream. Card is not even limited. They still play one, just, you know, to fit the theme. One Meta Noise. It has two Saliak, actually. Okay. Okay, all right, all right. We have the Horus cards. Okay, I'm gonna have to see what they do again to remind myself. This. Then we have the Kashtira package consisting of one Unicorn and one Birth. Yep. With Wraith Soth. Let's go OCG. Yeah, okay, that's better. Wraith Soth is also limited. We have some Shadolls in here. With a Winda, a Hollow, oops, a Beast, and a Squamata. We have the Danger package of one Mothman, two Nessie. We have King of the Swamp, 2. Holly, 1. Perlorino. Terra. This is the biggest pile of cards I've ever seen in my life. I changed my mind. This is worse than like goat control decks. What am I missing? Oh, the sarcophagus. Goods. Ash Blossom. And then to round off this, I mean, to make this pretty much perfect deck even better, we're rounding it off with 2 copies of Maxi. 2. I just clicked the sorting button and it just looks, it's the same as before. Nothing changed. That's crazy. Anyways, Guardian, Chimera, Dragostapelia, Garura. They now have Garura, by the way, over in the OCG. I think they're pretty excited about that. We have Masquerena, we have Dark, we have Little Knight, Celine, Access Code, White Woman, Redoer, and Zombie Vampire. That's the deck. Did I put the wrong Horus card? Hold up. Horus. This one. This one. No, I put the right ones. Those are all in the deck. Or is this one the wrong one? Oh no, this one is wrong. Hold up. Ah, it's this one. This is the good one. Right. No, I put this one. This one's the wrong one. My bad. This is the deck. Perfection. All right. Default. All right. Like, what the hell do I do? I go Wraith Soth. Full combo Pox. Stop saying full combo. Is it? I just have to hit with Nessie, right? Like, I just grab tier cash and try to hit with Nessie. That's what I have to do, right? That's all what I. That's what I have to do. Stop saying full combo. I don't want unicorn. I need vet. Okay, so I go Nessie effect. We'll roll a dice from 1 to 5. Nessie effect. Mothman effect. 1 to 5. Havness effect make Garura. And now what? Chat, now what? What the hell do I do? Do I go... You know what I could do? Is I could activate Scream and then normal summon Tearlaman's Cash Tier. Oops. No. Unironically, yes. I mean... Unironically, yes. Let's do it. Bop. Bop. Normal summon tier cash. Effect. 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 Bop. And then mill 6. Did I just... Why? How did I draw Sharon? Mill 6. How did I... Wait, they don't play Grapha? Did I miss Grapha? No, they don't play Grapha. Okay, well. Sharon effect. Pitch Squarmada. Ah. Squamata effect. Do we draw a card or mill 2? We mill 2. Right? This mills for each attribute? Yeah, mill 2. Mill 2. Easy club. Cool. And that's it. That's it, right? Phenomenal. Okay, this hand's actually good. It seems like such a freaking Gamba deck. The thing about this card is that it doesn't, like, the Horus cards, I mean, you just use them, I think, to make zombie vampire, right? Like, I believe this card is this card a 1-card zombie vampire? Hold up. So Send 2 cards from your hand to the grave, including this card. Let's just say we use this and the poly. What is it? You add the sarcophagus from deck to hand. Where is it? You add the sarcophagus and you draw a card. And then you activate the sarcophagus, and when you control the sarcophagus, you can just special summon this from the grave for free. And this is send a card from hand to the grave, send 1 horse from deck to grave. So we just discard. It's not discard, it's send. Let's send one. It doesn't really matter which one. We send another horse. Why is there 2 other horses, by the way? It's funny. This card is up to 4 times per turn, by the way. That's the funniest sentence on a Yu-Gi-Oh card ever printed. You can only use this up to 4 times. So you just send one. Special this. And then this make. This is your new Chaos Ruler, by the way. This is Chaos Ruler now. And then... And then you add a Tier Limit monster from your deck to your hand. Phenomenal. No, dude, I don't know, man. I understand that it's fun. But I don't know, man. I think at this point, they're just memeing. I'm calling it right now. OCG players, they're just doing it for the memes. They're literally just doing for the memes, which I respect. I respect that. I think it's funny as fuck that they still play this deck. I think it's funny. I think it's so funny because I'm just imagining the dude at the Konami office, right? Like the one that's responsible for the ban list, or like the couple people that are responsible for the ban list. They just keep looking at the OCG format, keep analyzing, keep thinking about what could we hit to make them stop playing Tier Limits, because they've been playing Tier Limits for 2 years. You know, we know we kind of fucked up with Power of the Elements, but can we please somehow get rid of these cards without having to put, like, at this point in time, honestly, they might as well just go, like, on the ban list, instead of putting the cards, they should just put Power of the Elements, right? On, like, the ban section. It's just like, put it there. Just put it there. I know Martha dies too, but let's be real, who cares? Let Martha just die with the other stuff. But, like, just go to the ban list and write Power of the Elements. You know? Bonus, Circular is also in there. Bonus points. You know, you get sympathy points as well. Like, no one's gonna be mad. You know, budget players are not gonna need Kurikara anymore. And that's the only way they can do it. That's the only way they can get rid of Tier Limits. Like, otherwise the ban list is just gonna be like freaking 3 pages long. Yeah. Anyways, that's that. Okay, so for the love of God, OCG, please stop playing Tier Limits, please. Apollyon, thank you for the 14 months. Appreciate that. Okay. Let us move into the next section, which is preparation for YCS Dortmund / Deck Doctor. Give me 1 minute. I will give you 1 minute. All right. Sorting the new ones. Okay, perfect. I'll just have my introduction then. Don't worry. No hurry, Skrelp. No hurry. All right. So, I told you guys, new sub goal. Oh shit! Did we hit a sub goal? We did hit a sub goal. Thank you for telling me that. All right. Thank you for telling me that. Here we go. Everyone pog at the remix. There we go. Let me reset that. Okay. So much damage. All right. I'm gonna let that finish. Will you be in YCS Bologna? I need our pick for wallpaper. I will be at YCS Bologna, yes. Okay. Anyways. Chat, you guys have submitted a lot of decks. A lot of decks, honestly. I've asked my subscribers to submit decks on my Discord server. And decks that you guys want my feedback on, basically, for the upcoming TCG format. And we have assembled quite the list. And this is also the reason why I've been keeping these, you know, within just for subscribers. The last couple iterations of this is simply because we've been getting way too many submissions. If your deck or your specific deck list is not going to make it into the deck doctor, don't worry. We're gonna talk about every single deck type at least once, right? So, like, for example, there's been like let me check. There's been like 11 Tearlament decks submitted. We're not gonna go over every single Tearlament deck. We're just gonna go over one or two. I'm gonna give you guys my opinion on some of the different engines in Tearlaments and this, what's in the specific lists, and then you can like extrapolate from that for your personal Tearlament list, right? That's how we always do it. You know, there's simply no way I can just go over like 10 Tearlament decks, because at some point it's just going to be way too repetitive, right? So the wonderful Skrelpling has helped me set up the Google form and sort all the entries. Shoutouts to Skrelp for the help. And we are just going to hop right in just a second. And I think we can just start with Tearlaments. I think we already have more than enough. Even if Skrelp keeps sorting some of the other stuff in the background, I think we can just start with Tearlaments and it's going to be fine. As always, I've asked you guys to submit a dueling book deck list, as well as giving me some extra input, like what type of deck are you playing, what level are you trying to participate in, because, you know, deck building can change depending on, am I just going to play with friends, am I just going to bring it to locals, do I want to play at regionals with it, or do I plan to play at like the highest level of competition, right? Like YCS nationals, whatever, right? And that's always important. So I've asked you guys for that, and then I've given people a thing where they can give me extra info of, like, you know, I'm not playing this card because of budget reasons, or I'm playing a lot of back row removal in my main deck because my locals is full of stun Andys or whatever, right? These type of informations that would be helpful when evaluating a specific deck list, right? And so I'm just gonna hop right in, and out of all the Tearlament submissions, I'm just gonna pick one at random and see what happens. All right, so all right, let us begin. Now, the thing is, I don't know who submitted these, right? I do not know who submitted each individual deck, because these were anonymous, but you're gonna know if it's your deck or not, so that's fine. No need to know the name. Thank you everyone for the subs. OGPED, thank you for the Prime. TJ Palooza, thank you for the Prime. Xrofa, Fezro, Gold Day TFT, thank you guys, appreciate that. And Real Get Robed, thank you for the gift sub, thank you guys. All right, we begin with Tearlament's strongest. We have a clean 40 card Cash Tira Ishizu Tearlament list is what they called it. Right off the bat, I'm seeing a lot of stuff that I like, and so I'm seeing a card that I don't really know. Okay, Neshadol Genius. You can target a Shadol monster you control. It's unaffected. If this card's on the center of the grave, you can target a monster, and either player can activate. Ah, okay, it's okay. It's because you're siding the Shadol fusion package. All right. It outs Noir. Well, yeah, it makes them unable to activate it, right? It's still unaffected though. It's still unaffected, but we'll get to that. So a couple things right off the bat. I liked I like a lot that you kept it 40 cards. I think that is one advice to tier limits in general that I would give you guys. I think the deck should be as close to 40 cards as possible, because the deck simply will struggle. The deck will struggle with consistency otherwise. Chebu, thank you for the kind words and thank you for the prime. Appreciate that. See you in Dortmund. It's not going to be that bad. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to have fun. YCSs are always fun, even if you don't top or anything. Like, just give it your best and just enjoy it. It's going to be fine. All right. I guess the best way to go about tier limits, because there is like a billion different engines on tier limits, I'm just going to go over... when I see a tier limit list, I'm just going to go over some of the engines in the deck that are present and what I think about them, and then just like some other things about the deck. So in general... I like your list. I don't think there's anything glaringly wrong with it. That's a good start. The only card that's like kind of off to me is the Change of Heart, which is a good card against the Unchained matchup, but in other matchups, I would think you could play better cards. Like, I think something like a Talents will probably suit you better, simply because that card can be used when you go first, when you get hand trapped, and going second, I think it's a little bit more... It's a little bit more universal, right? Because Change of Heart really, out of the current decks, only is really good, I think, against Unchained. But it's not a bad card, per se. You could side it, but I don't know if I like it as my non-engine for the main deck. The other thing is, I don't really get why there's such a big focus on Rhino Heart in this deck right now. Because the one thing I don't like about Rhino Heart is that it does not make a fusion by itself. Right? You go normal summon Rhino Heart, and that doesn't do anything, right? Rhino Heart in general is in a very weird position in tier limits right now, simply because it's a great mill, especially if you have like a Scream in hand or a Sulliak in hand. It seems so good to just mill a Rhino Heart, but you really don't want to draw it. Yes, you can go normal summon Rhino Heart, send tier limits Kashtira, and just mill 2 cards, but the chances that those mill 2 do anything for you, I think are too small, right? I think they're too small for you to rely on just Rhino Heart as your normal summon. So that's that. The Kashtira package, I'm a big fan of, honestly. Wraith Soth, Fenrir, and tier limits Kashtira, I think is a great package. You could even consider playing more Wraith Soth, because I think just opening Fenrir into tier cash is phenomenal. I think that's a very strong opener for tier limits, because it's just solid setup, right? You just begin the game with a very solid setup, right? You have just like the field spell up that buffs your dudes. You have the Fenrir on the board, which is good, and you search one of the better cards in tier limits now, which is tier limits Kashtira. So I like the Kashtira package. I don't love Super Poly right now in the meta. You're playing this thing for it. Dragon Synchro Monster plus Warrior Monster. What is this against? What is Dragon Synchro plus Warrior? So the Warrior could be Baron, of course. Dragon Synchro? Manadium? I guess if you are playing Super Poly, I don't hate playing Draco Equist if it covers Manadium, I guess. But I don't love Super Poly in general right now. Okay. And that's it for the engines that are actually, King of the Swamp. Let's talk about King of the Swamp real quick. King of the Swamp has been a weird card for me, simply because in all of the games that I've played with tier limits, and I've played a decent amount. I wouldn't say I've tested the deck like a lot, but I've played a decent amount of games with tier limits, both on stream and off stream. I have not really been making great use of polymerization, simply because going first, it's not really been good for me, right? And then going second, I have very, very often had the problem that the deck just doesn't have enough monsters for me to go into Guardian Chimera effectively. And just now looking at, you're not even playing Guardian Chimera, which is like the only reason why I would even like polymerization going second. So I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure why that card's not even in here, but I think it's just way too hard to perform a fusion with poly. So what I have been thinking is you can either not play King of the Swamp which is possible. However, I have some issues with that because I'm not sure if your end boards are strong enough, if you don't have access to Rule Colossus or Grapha. So in that sense, I like King of the Swamp. I just didn't like drawing it. Right? I just didn't like drawing it, and I hated drawing poly. So I thought maybe you can just cut the poly and just play it as like a good mill. Like, and then in that case, you wouldn't even play King of the Swamp, right? You would play Beast King of the Swamp because it's a level 4, which is better, and it's slightly stronger. And they're both aquas. I don't hate playing like 1 or 2 of those. I don't think I would go with 3 King of the Swamp plus poly anymore after testing it a little bit. So that's my opinion on all the cards present here. The side deck is fine in my book. I think, honestly, this deck can... like, if you're doing this, I would probably recommend just main decking some amount of Shaddolls. Like, I really think just, like, main decking a Squamata, a Beast, and a Shaddoll Hollow is completely fine. That way you... yeah, I think that's very synergistic with the entire deck. And then siding Shaddoll Fusion on top for going second is actually a pretty good idea. I don't hate that at all. So that's fine. Phantasme is solid, I think. I don't hate it. I think it's a good card against Unchained. The problem is, do you want to side a card that's pretty much just for Unchained? I mean, it's not just for Unchained, but let's be real. The deck that everyone has in mind when they think of Phantasme is Unchained, right? Because it's not good against Branded. It's not good against Pearly, which, like, that's the top. I mean, it's good against Rescue Ace. It's good against Unchained. It's good against some other stuff like Salamangrate randomly, Dragon Link, which I expect to be only somewhat popular, not super popular, but they're alright. Phantasme is okay. I don't mind Phantasme. Alright. But overall, I think your list is solid. I just think there's a couple of choices that are slightly suboptimal, right? I don't think Rhino is the optimal normal summon. I don't think King of the Swamp is that great. I don't think Super Poly is the best non-engine. I don't think Change of Heart is the best non-engine. But overall, the deck building principles here are sound. It's fine. It's just that I think you could be playing some better cards in those slots in terms of engine and non-engine wise. All right, let me find another one. Actually, let me read the reasoning. My reasoning behind playing Tier is that with Horizon being gone, the deck is in a really good spot again. That is true. The worst matchup is gone. Solid matchups against Unchained and Pearly. I have been finding it okay in both of those matchups. Yeah, the side deck is based on matchups against Branded. Maybe there are a few options for the Flu matches. Yeah, you need something for Flu probably, but I want to trust your words and what to change or add. Yes, there are a Preda Power Fusion Dragon and Tereko Equist as Super Poly targets. Okay, yeah, basically what we all talked about. The side deck, that's something I noticed just now. The side deck doesn't really have anything for Flu, which is probably not very good for the current format. You probably need something for Flu. My suggestion is either you just play Banshee and Zombie World if you really want to specifically target Flu as best as you can. Those 2 cards are like the best ones against Flu by far. But if you want a card that's maybe like a little more overall use, I think you can play Droll and Lockbird in your side deck very well. Like, Droll and Lockbird is a card that it's good against Flu, but it also covers some of the combo piles. And I always like when, like, I consider Flu decks and all those combo piles, I don't consider them meta threats, like top tier. You're going to play like 4 of them at a YCS. Probably not. But it feels really good to have them all covered with 1 card, right? Like, still, because you don't want to overcommit your deck to decks that are not going to be that popular, because my guess, 12 rounds YCS Dortmund, probably not going to be more than like 1 Fluon de Reese if you're unlucky too. And maybe 1 combo pile as well. So you don't want to over prepare for those decks, but you also don't want to completely disrespect them because it could very well still happen, right? And so you want to be... I like to be on like the cards that are just covering a lot of those matchups in together, right? And that's something that Droll and Lockbird I think does really well for this current format. All right. Let me set this up a little bit better in the background so I don't always have to switch cams. All right, let me get the next one up. Let's do one more. that has a couple other interesting cards in it. Yeah, this one it's perfect. With those two, I think we'll cover most of our bases. Okay, here we have another tier limit list, but it's very, very different. Very, very different from the first one. Let me actually stay on the left side. I think that's better. Okay, so here we have another approach of tier limits, which is also, in my opinion, very, very interesting. Borna, thank you for the 6 months. Appreciate that. So, another engine that's in here that I personally find very, very interesting is the tuning package with Revolution Synchron. Now, so what you do with these cards, basically, for anyone in chat, is you try to put a level 4 monster onto the field, and then you can synchro with the Revolution Synchron from your hand into an Ancient Fairy Dragon, and then use the Ancient Fairy to special summon from your hand, or use the Ancient Fairy Dragon to replace one of your field spells, and just go from there, get the other free field spell, bring back the Revolution Synchron, and make Visa's Armitara. You can make Crystal Wing. You can also make Dragite. I don't know why there's no Crystal Wing in here. I think Crystal Wing is better than Dragite, but okay. That's the plan with that. And the nice little bonus there, which is, it's not always going to matter, but it is not, I don't think it's insignificant either, is that you get to mill, if you start with tuning, you get to mill 2 cards, right? You mill 1 for tuning and you mill 1 for Revolution Synchron, which 2 cards is not a lot, but when you get, if just one of those 2 mills is a good hit, like 1 Saliak, 1 Trivikarma, 1 Scream, 1 Tearlament Name, 1 Tearlament Kashtira, 1 Mali, 1 Destrudo, 1 Kelbeck Agido Mudora Keldo, like it suddenly turns into like insane value. So that's what I like about these cards. And just like the consistent access to your field spells, right? Because that is just one of the best parts about tier in the TCG is that we still have 3 Perla Rhino. So that's what I personally, I like this engine. I have been struggling to fit it into my decks, but I think it's good. I would like to be playing it. So that's that. I think if you play this engine, though, I've been thinking about doing something. I've been thinking about playing more Wraith Soth. Like, I think in a deck like this one, where you really want to have a field spell, like starting with Wraith Soth is really, really good, because you go Wraith Soth, add Fenrir, special Fenrir, add Tier Cash. Later on, Ancient Fairy, pop Wraith Soth, get Perla Rhino. That's pretty much the best possible way it could go, right? So I think in a version like this one, I would be trying to fit more Wraith Soth. And here's the problem with the Revolution Synchron package. There's 2 main problems. The first problem is main deck space. The second problem is extra deck space. Because the extra deck is going to be incredibly tight. Because look at the amount of synchros you want. And the main deck space is also a problem. But the even bigger problem is that Revolution Synchron does not work with the, in my opinion, best normal summon for tier limits. And that is Diviner. I'm actually surprised both lists that we've looked at so far did not have Diviner of the Herald. I think Diviner is probably the best and most synergistic tier limit normal summon now. Simply because milling 5 cards is just always going to be good for you. There's like almost no way you mill 5 and don't get a +1 or +2 out of it. And also Diviner just has the perfect attribute, like the perfect properties for this deck. It's a level 6 tuner, which means it makes Baron and it makes Beatrice, which are probably the 2 best tools in the extra deck that tier limit has available right now. Like Beatrice and Baron, by far the best possible ways you can like make your end board happen, right? And so I've been a huge fan of Diviner. And that has just been conflicting with Revolution Synchron, right? Like you open Diviner and Revolution Synchron, they don't do anything together, right? And that's been my biggest conflict. But yeah, I like the Revolution Synchron. I like that you're going for it. I like it. The one card I have not been liking a lot in some of my tier limit decks. The other list also had it, but it's Trivikarma. I'm not a huge fan of this card. I don't hate it per se, but I feel like every single card in this deck that has a graveyard effect is like also fine to draw. Like you draw a Scream, you draw a Sulliak, you draw a Meta Noise, you're not unhappy about that. You draw any of your monsters, you're not unhappy about that because you can like pitch them for Sharon. With Trivi Karma, the problem is if you draw that card, you cannot really, right? You cannot really do anything with it, right? And that's a problem. The only thing you can really do with it is pitch it for, like, you can destroy it with your own Pearl or Rhino. But I don't know. So I'm not sure if I like the Trivi Karma in here, especially because you're going over 40 for it. Beast King of the Swamp is another card that I think is good. I think it's good to mill. I think it's not good to draw, but it's fine because it's level 4 at least, so you can do your Revolution Synchron stuff with it. I don't think I would personally be playing triple Beast King of the Swamps. I think like either you could play less, you could play 0. That would also be okay if your boards are still good enough without like Grapha on it or Rule Close. That's one thing you have to realize. The cutting King of the Swamp or Beast King of the Swamps will make your extra deck a lot less tight because you don't have to play Grapha or Rule Close, right? So that's good. Anthem of the World, thank you for the 5 months. Appreciate that. So that's that. The hero engine. The hero engine, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the hero package. I like the militias. I would even go as far as to you should probably play the Nair as well. I think the Nair is also a very good card. I like the militias, the Nair Beatrice package. I think it's great. I think it gets a lot better if you play Diviner though, like a lot better. I think that should probably be like together in the deck, right? I don't know if this deck can consistently even like, you can still make Beatrice consistently, but it's been way more consistent with Diviner for me. So I like the Diviner with that. So yeah, but overall, that's my opinion on most of those engines. All right, let me see if there's other engines we haven't talked about yet. Okay, this one probably has, yeah. Let's read the text that they sent. Went back and forth a bunch of times between the Rev and non-Rev version. I decided this was better, but also decided Beatrice was still necessary, hence the weirdly tight extra. Okay. Black Rose is absolutely incredible and people don't expect it. Normal summon Ishizu suddenly contests the whole board. That is true. Black Rose is, I think, Revolution Synchron into Black Rose is like a sleeper kind of thing that people don't really respect. Like, your opponent normal summons level 4, right? You're not gonna suspect them freaking turning into turbo mode Black Rose your entire board in just a millisecond. That's cool. The mills are not as great as the other more pure version, but this has more gas and protection against Bestial's other interruptions. You see, this is the thing about playing stuff like Revolution Synchron. Revolution Synchron is very much not focused on Gamba, right? Revolution Synchron is a very controlled line because you're going to go activate field spell, normal summon level 4, make Ancient Fairy, search the other field spell, make like Crystal Wing or whatever, or Army Tara to search whatever, right? It's very controlled. There's not much Gamba in there, right? Except for the random tuning mill or random Revolution Synchron mill, right? Everything else is pretty much like a guaranteed line. And I know that feels good, and that's also why it feels good to me, but that might just be the reason why it doesn't make the cut in tier limits. Because tier limits, you know, maybe you're not supposed to play it that way. Maybe you're not supposed to play it that way. All right, let's see if we have one Diviner deck list. Oh, okay, we do. Hold up. Tiarman's Greatest. I've opted for the Mikanko engine in tier for Beatrice reasons, of course. It also feels nice going second, as just Ohime can put a fair amount of pressure on a board with Reflection Rondo. Additionally, I'm trying to high roll with Orange Light, and for the reason the fairy count is higher with 3 Diviner, for example. Baron is definitely the 16th card in the extra deck. Oh, there's no Baron, okay. Any and all feedback is appreciated. See you in Dortmund. Okay. First off, love the triple diviner. Unironically, my favorite normal summon in this deck. Love the Ohime. Unironically, I've been playing that. It's funny because I've been playing that in Master Duel like last week. Last week we played Ohime in Master Duel, and I actually was a big fan of it. And I somehow didn't even think about including it in the TCG. But I think it makes total sense. Now that I'm seeing it, I'm like, yeah, why did I not think about even playing Ohime? That seems cool. That seems cool. I like that. The one thing I disagree with is the Herald of the Orange Light. I don't think Herald of the Orange Light like needs to be played just because you have some other fairies in your deck, because the problem here is basically Herald of the Orange Light with an Ishizu card, great, right? Great, phenomenal. Very, very good. Herald of the Orange Light with Ohime or Diviner, not that good, honestly. Like, yes, it's a strong hand trap, but like, you don't want to discard those pieces. Those are your best combo pieces in this deck. Those are your starter cards, right? Your Ohime and your Diviner, that's the card you need to get going in this version. So I wouldn't play Diviner. I wouldn't play Herald of the Orange Light in this. I don't think it's very good for this. I like the Diviner. I like the Ohime. Cut the Herald of the Orange Light, honestly. But keep playing the Ohime. I like it. This seems like the perfect version to play like militias in, right? And then the same is true about like the King of the Swamp, of what I said earlier. We've talked about King of the Swamp. You're playing Trivi Karma without Foolish Burial Goods even. I don't like that. So I would say cut the King of the Swamp, cut the Herald of the Orange Light, cut the Poly, and play some better mills, like play the Mallies, maybe the Denier, that kind of stuff. I think give this deck a little bit more gas, because like sometimes you're gonna sit there with this version and you're gonna go normal summon Diviner, send Kelbeck or Agido, mill 5, and you're just gonna miss. Like, you're just gonna miss. And that's not gonna feel good in this version. Yeah. And it absolutely 100% needs Baron. Like, a deck with Diviner needs Baron, which you could play if you just cut the King of the Swamp. You lose access to Rule Colossus and Grapha anyways, and then you get to play Baron. I think that's what I would do. You could max out Sulliak too, since Mikanko sends for effect. Yeah. Like, if you... Mikanko, that's another thing. You don't have that many great discards for Ohime. You could definitely play like 3 Sulliak. Yeah. There's just that's one thing I love about tier in this format. There's like so many possibilities, right? There's just so many things you can do with tier elements. Like, we've now looked at 3 tier element decks, and they've all been so fundamentally different. Like, there's been like 10 plus cards different in each deck. Like, it's so interesting to look at. It's very fun to play around with, and yeah. So I hope this gave you like a solid overview of what I think of all the engines for tier. Right? We've talked about all of those possible engines, or like most of those possible engines. But let's move on to a different deck. I feel like we spent like 30 minutes on tier elements, and I don't regret any of it. I do not regret any of it. All right. I'm just going down the list of things that we have. Next up, we have runic variations. And first up, we have this one. Now, let me say a thing or two about runics in general. About the position of runics in the format, I guess, before we hop into a singular runic deck. So, I've been getting a lot of questions about runics for the current format, because, you know, I'm kind of like the runic guy, I guess, and it is what it is. I personally don't think runics are in the best spot right now. I don't hate them. I could never. I think they're always going to be somewhat okay. But right now, I don't think they have the most favorable matchups in the format. Like, I think and the elephant in the room here is Unchained. Unchained is like the big problem for Runic, I think, because most of your interaction, not all of them, but most of your interaction is not very good against Unchained, right? Like, flashing fire destroys monsters, which is not great for you. Destruction on back row is not very good for you. Like, Baron to clear the board is not super good. Like, it's very tough, I think, for Runic to outgrind Unchained, because most of your removal is tough against the deck. Like, it's not gonna work super well. Purely is kind of okay. You don't really have a native out to Noir, which can be a problem, but you could deck them out if they don't use it. Like, if they have like 5 materials and they want it to stay unaffected, you could maybe deck them out in some point. But the field spell is a problem. Happy Memory is a big problem because they can protect their, like, if they go My Friend, then you have destruction for it and it resolves. It's great because you stop the search, you get rid of that card, and you banish 4 from their deck, which can be crucial against Pearly. But if they have Happy Memory, suddenly it's a super bad trade for you, right? It's super bad because they activate Happy Memory, which is like a free activation for them because they wanted to activate that anyways. And then they also stop your Runic Destruction from popping My Friend. So it's kind of like, I think it can come down to those small interactions very, very often. On top of that, Runic doesn't have a lot of room for non-engine. And I think that's a problem in this format, simply because against Pearly, you kind of want to stop them before they get to Noir. Otherwise, you're going to have a rough time. Against Unchained, it's very hard to grind engine versus engine. I think Unchained, actually, if it pulls off its combo, like if it goes first and pulls off its combo, I think you lose. I think the engine is stronger in the grind game than the Runics because they just like all your shit destroys and they just like keep trying to pop your fountain and it's very annoying. And I don't think you can like you can outgrind it. So there's really too many problems for the deck. That being said, I still think it can be a very good deck. I still think it can be very threatening when it goes first, in particular. Like, all of those problems literally almost don't exist when you go first with the Runic deck. Like, you can bully Unchained, you can bully Pearly. If you just play the right Runic combo deck and you go first, you're still gonna win. But I don't think that makes it a favorable matchup. That makes it a 50-50 at best. So I don't know. But let's go over some interesting Runic variations that people have submitted. First off, we got a Runic Bestial Synchro deck, which has always been I mean, I'm a big fan of Assault Synchron. You guys know this. You guys know I'm a huge Assault Synchron stan. I've just never been able to find a deck with it that I liked enough. Well, I liked all of them, but I didn't think they were. I didn't think they were like strong enough. But we have an Assault Synchron Bestial deck right here that plays 6 Assault Synchrons with the tuning and 3 Fable Cerberus, and then plays the Sharnga Creation Resonator and Sangan package for Cupid Pitch. Love that. Big fan of that. Bestials help to combo off if you've drawn only one Runic addition to their hand trap and board breaking capabilities in the meta. Should Cerebral be cut for something more impactful and so make the deck lean less on the combo going through, considering Denko Sekka in the side? Thank you. Okay. Should you cut Fable Cerebral? Probably not, because one problem with this deck that I see immediately is that this deck can basically only play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! If it draws Runic plus Tuner. That is in general a problem of Runic Synchro. I've played a lot of different Runic Synchro variations in the past couple months. I've been testing Runic Synchro variations like crazy because I love those decks. But the biggest problem is you need to draw Runic and Tuner. And Cerberel is kind of like the perfect card for this deck because you simply you discard it for Hugin, you get the free Tuner onto the field, right? I think you should be playing the Cerberel. And that's already where the problems start, because having to play this many tuners, having to play this many runics, you're left with a very, very small space for non-engine, like we said. And I feel like in your case, you've tried something very interesting, which I think you've tried to make your non-engine partially engine as well, right? You're telling me I fit all the tuners, I fit all the runics, I have room for 8 more cards here, which is a decent amount of room, and you don't want to fit 8. You don't want to just put like 8 hand traps or 8 board breakers, right? Because then you just draw too many like bricks, right? And so what you're doing is you're playing bestials, which are partially hand traps and partially extenders, which is not a bad call, I think. The problem with that is it's going to make your draws a lot smoother, but it's going to feel very suboptimal depending on your matchup, right? Like if you're playing against branded, this deck is going to feel phenomenal, right? Because you have your entire deck is basically engine here, which is great, but you still have some amount of good hand traps against branded. It's only 4 because Lubellion's not really a hand trap, but like, you know, you still have decent non-engine against branded. Same against Unchained. Like it's probably going to be fine against Unchained in the grind game. If you draw like a Lubellion into Magnamute plus Runics plus Tuners, you're probably going to be fine. So I don't hate the idea. I really don't hate the idea here of like making it non-engine and engine at the same time. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, no, I don't hate it. And there's really not that much I can tell you to change here because like I said, the deck is incredibly tight. The deck is incredibly tight. And there's not that much you can do to change things up. I like everything you've put into the main deck. Maybe you can consider Serenir. Serenir seems like a decent draw if you don't have Lubellion, right? You can like summon Serenir, synchro with it, and send the Lubellion. That could be an interesting concept. Other than that, it's definitely your deck is very low on runic fusions. And runic synchro decks, especially the Liberian ones, they run out of runic fusions really, really fast. Like, really fast. So that could be a problem here. I probably would say cut the End Punisher for more runic fusions, like a second Gary probably, or maybe a third Hugin, depending on what you need more. But the rest all seems necessary. You need Cupid Pitch, you need Liberian, you need this, you need this. You might not need Omega, but it's good. You definitely need all the level 10s. So it's going to be tough with the extra deck space, but I think you need more runic fusions. Yeah. But in general, I like the approach here. I don't hate it. I don't think it's like a miracle solution to the format, but I think it's a good deck that you build. All right, we have a runic plunder deck. Only 1 thrust because I only own 1. 3 Garys because I often found I need a free level 4 extender to go into Yord. Also, I had a few times that I felt like I needed more than 2. Played Zeus before and it never came up. I don't know if Nip should be the last hand trap, but it's probably better than main deck Droll. Maybe 1 Redbeard so I can summon it off of Whitebeard when I discard him in the opponent's turn to have another interaction. Alright. Runic Plunder. Runic Plunder, I think, is a good deck. I think it's solid. I think it is worse than other runic variations based on one simple fact, basically. I think the problem of runic of the Plunder package with runic is simply that you have 3 Whitebeard and 3 Golden Hair that you want to pair with a runic spell, right? Those are the ones you want to discard, which is good. But then you have a bunch of them which you don't really want to draw together with a runic. They only get good in like 2+ combos with multiple plunders. And I think it's just a little bit awkward if you open runic plus Black Eyes or something like that. But it can work. It can work. It's a very minimalistic plunder package. I haven't played with this, but it seems like you would run out very fast in like grindier games off of the Black Eyes and Bluebeard. I feel like you might run out very fast because I remember all of the versions that I played 3 Golden Hair, 3 Whitebeard, and then multiple copies of each of these, like 3, 2, and then even Redbeard, right? So you're playing a very minimalistic package. I don't know how that's been working out for you. If it has been working out, then fine, I guess. Then I like the look of this a lot more than having to play a lot more plunders. But if maybe you're running out. You have 19 runic quick plays, which is that's a respectable amount. I respect that. And you're playing 9 hand traps as your solution to like non-engine in the format. I think it's fine. I'm a big fan of Ash and Imperm in this format in general. Specifically Ash, I think is like, I think Ash is the best hand trap in the format. I think Imperm is decent / good, definitely good enough to play. Nib is in a little bit of a weird spot. I think it's a good card. However, I think it can be a little bit awkward because there is a couple matchups where it just doesn't do that much. Like, Hurley only plays into it very rarely if they go for Zeus lines, basically. And yeah, I think it's fine. Especially, I mean, if they play into it, you give your opponent a token, which is huge for runic, right? For plunder, right? So, I'm a fan of this deck. I don't think it's the best runic version, but I think it's fine. I'm not sure if this is enough plunder monsters. So maybe if you're finding yourself struggling with plunders, you might want more plunder names instead of the nib. The extra deck is also very light on plunder monsters. It also doesn't the combo have Coral Dragon? I see people in chat mentioning that right now. I felt like the combo used Coral Dragon. So maybe you need that. I think you need that. If you draw runic plus Whitebeard. Yeah. So that's that, right? But overall, the concept of the deck is still the same as always, right? Pretty standard main deck, not much to say about it. Ash and Imperm cover the higher tier decks of the meta. The 2 Sprite Red in the side are for going first. Main threat of the deck is Droll and Nib, and it suggested to me worked really well and carried last OTS championship. Side is really wake for me at the moment. I consider Droll, Nib, Books, Featherstorm, Cosmic. Well, Feather Duster / Lightning Storm. Cosmic, I guess, is where help would be needed. I went with a Thrust package, but I didn't get to test it that much. Triple Druids for Unchained, but I like. Mentioned it, struggling the side. Thanks. Okay. Runic Furhire Sprite. The main deck we really don't need to talk about. The main deck, I think there's only one thing that I would do differently, and that is I think you need Mayhem Furhire. I think that card is necessary. I think even though it looks very clean to have 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, I think this deck just only has room for 5 non-engine. I think you just need to play Mayhem. I personally think Mayhem is too powerful. So I think you have 5 non-engine slots. Whether you just cut 1 Imperm and roll with that, I don't know. Maybe. I tend to always prefer like board breakers in runic decks because they feel more impactful, right? Like basically hand traps are really good cards, but drawing 1 Imperm going second does not have the same impact as drawing, for example, 1 evenly matched. I'm not telling you to play evenly matched right now because evenly matched I don't think is that great in the main deck. But in general, like a board breaker is gonna have more impact. Why 3 Imperm and 2 freezing? There's 3 freezing, it's just sorted incorrectly. There's 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. The 2 slumber, 1 dispelling split is something that people do. I see people do that a lot when they only have room for 15 runics. They only play 2 slumber, 1 dispelling. The reason for that is that, of course, every runic is once per turn. So you don't wanna draw 2 slumbers. So you play 2 slumber, 1 dispelling. I think it's okay. I personally don't think it's better. I think you should just play 3 slumbers, but I don't hate the reasoning. I think it's okay. But like I said, the main deck is pretty straightforward. You can think about swapping. Honestly, what I would probably do is I would cut Imperm for Mayhem for Hire. I would cut Dispelling for 3rd Slumber, and I would cut the remaining 2 Imperms for 2 Talents. I think that'd be my current version of Runic for Hire Sprite. I would just do 3 Ash, 2 Talents. I think that'd be fine. Why do people play Dispelling over Smiting Storm? Well, Dispelling has actual defensive capabilities, right? Because if you have it in your hand and your opponent activates a card that searches, like Prosperity, you can activate Dispelling and maybe rip a card out of their hand. Whereas Smiting Storm doesn't have any defensive capabilities, pretty much, right? I don't like Jet and Starter in the deck. Jet and Starter are cuttable. I agree with you. I haven't played that much without them, but they are cuttable. 100%. It's still nice to draw Jet for the free plus and free extender and all the stuff, but drawing Starter in this deck feels really bad. How do you side going second with such a tight main deck? What engine do you cut? It's very, very tough to side deck with Runic decks going second. One thing I did a lot was I would side out. You actually side out some amount of engine when you go second, simply because the logic is your deck is built to be consistent when going first, right? That's what you always build your deck for. You always build your deck to be consistent going first with 5 cards. So theoretically, going second, you get 6 cards, so you need slightly less engine because you have more cards. So your deck is more consistent by default, right? And so you don't want to side out too much engine, of course, right? But like that's what you usually do. You side out like Jet, Starter, maybe 1 Fossil Dig or 1 Runic Spell, right? That's what you usually do, right? Sometimes you side out, like against specific matchups, if your opponent is playing a monster-heavy deck, you side out Carrot. If you're playing against the back row deck, maybe you side out Red. That's the kind of things you have to do, right, with Runic decks. It's very hard to figure out what to side out. Side deck, I'm a big fan of the Red idea. I think that's pretty good. If you expect people to side deck Drone and Lockbird, I think it's very good to side deck Sprite Red for going first. I like that a lot. So you can go like draw phase, summon Hugin, search. They can't roll yet. Then first action in the main phase, you go special summon blue. I like that. I like that a lot. The Wiz has to be there. The Thrust package, I think, is good. I like it. I think it should probably have Feather Duster. I am not a big fan of Evenly and Book of Moon in the side deck, to be honest with you. I don't really like that much. I think I would, without any testing, just right off the bat, giving you my opinion on the side deck, take out the 2 Evenly, take out the 2 Book of Moons, add a Magnamut, and then add 3. What other 3 cards would you cover? Like you have for Unchained, you already have plenty. You have Druisworm, Magnamut, Thrust, Talents. You have too much against Unchained already. Like you have too much against Unchained. You can't do anything. Like you don't have enough side out for Unchained, I think. But yeah, you might have to rethink the Bestials, honestly. Maybe you don't even need the Bestials. They're still good against Branded, which is a problematic matchup for this deck. So you probably still want the Bestials. But yeah. Extra deck is pretty clean. I think the Folgo might be... One Folgo is a little sus. Because, yes, Nightmare Unicorn / Diablosis is not a thing anymore, but sometimes when you get even lead, you lose your Folgo, and that sucks. But evenly is not that popular right now, so maybe it's alright. Maybe it's okay to play 1 Folgo, yeah. DD Crow over Bestials to hit Pearly 2? You could do that. You could do that. I don't hate that. I do not hate that, yeah. All right, we have okay, and then we have a Life Twin sprite, which is, let's cover this quickly. All right, so we have 6 Life Twin starters, a little bit on the low end. We have no Frost. I think that's fine. We have 3 blue, 1 jet, 1 carrot, 1 red, 1 starter. In this deck, I would never cut the jet. I think in this deck, you should play it. 2 fountain. We have 3, 17 runic spells. Yeah, all right, solid. And 8 non-engine. All right, so right off the bat, there's one thing you need to do. There's one thing you need to do, and it is you need to add more Life Twins. I'm sorry. I know you want to be consistent with it. I know you want to have a lot of non-engine, and it feels really good to have a lot of non-engine, but this deck needs more Life Twins. You only have 6. You only have 6 Life Twins. That's not enough. You need more. You need more. Play more Sunny Snitches, and like probably cut the Evenlies and play 2 Sunny Snitch and a Frost. Right? That's pretty much. I think you need to do that. You don't have 8 non-engine slots in Runic. Life Twins, right? You just don't have it. I know it feels good to have a lot of non-engine in theory, but this deck just doesn't have it, and this deck also doesn't play well with it. This deck doesn't play well with with too much non-engine in your hand. It feels so bad to open multiple of these cards when you go first. It feels so bad to draw into Evenly when you resolve Fountain, and Evenly is not even that good in this format, right? One card that people are already spamming in the chat right now that I think is very, very strong in Life Twin Runic Sprite right now in this format is Forbidden Droplet. This is the one deck where I think, like, absolutely play Forbidden Droplet. It's so freaking good, man. You just, it's so good to play Droplet in this deck, unironically. It's so good. Play Droplet. Droplet is great. Droplet is great. And then, like, maybe just play Droplet plus Talents or Droplet plus Nib as your only non-engine. Maybe Droplet plus Ash could also be fine, right? One of those. It's like, you can drop, if you start with Sunny Snitch, Droplet becomes insane. Like, you go Sunny Snitch, add a Life Twin, summon the Life Twin. Let's say they have the Caesar. Let's say Unchained has the Caesar link, right? And then you go Sunny Snitch, add Lila, summon Lila, opponent goes negate with Caesar, you go Droplet, send Lila, send the spell, negate Caesar, negate the Unchained Soul of Rage or whatever they have next to it, special summon out Kill can still trigger because you have no other monsters to still summon out another Lila. It's so good. Yeah. And then if they have more monsters, you can even play like another Runic. You can like chain a Runic as well and then Droplet that too to get more negation. It's just phenomenal. Droplet is great in this deck. Droplet plus Talents to not play into Thrust, that could be a thing. If you think people are playing Thrust right now a decent amount, which people are playing it, then you could just go Droplet Talents, break people's board instead of playing hand traps. Could be a very valid approach for this deck. I like it. So yeah, just play more Sunny Snitches, maybe play Frost, cut some non-engine, swap the non-engine around to play Droplets, and then your main deck is pretty fire. Your side deck, I like the Ash, because even if you don't main deck it, I think siding Ash for Branded and Lab and other combo decks is pretty good. Siding Bell, what is this for? Labyrinth, I guess it's fine against some other decks. Like it has uses against Tier, it has uses against Unchained, but you wouldn't really, I don't know if you would really side it against those matchups. It's good against Branded, which is a problematic matchup. I think Crow is better. Probably. If I had to guess, I think Crow is better. Resonator, yep. Smashers is good. Cosmic is decent. No, the side deck is fine, except for I think Bell could be swapped around. Yeah. Extra deck, and extra deck is just pretty standard. It'd be nice to be able to fit a Sleipnir in this deck, but the extra deck is so tight. I don't know what you could cut. Maybe Sprint. I haven't been using Sprint very often with this deck. You can probably cut Sprint. Like Sprint in this deck is basically like a fail-safe kind of card. If you don't open a Life Twin, you have to go Sprint, send one, Gigantic, summon the other. That's like your plan. Not even plan B. That's like plan freaking C or D or F or whatever. Like very, very low down the line. I think you just should just play more life twins and then cut the sprint for a runic mirror. That's what I like. Mannequin Cat is playable in this deck, but I don't think it's mandatory in this one. It's mandatory in Sprite Runic Furhire. But the in this deck you don't need it. You don't have the super broken interactions with it. It's fine. If people play Shifter, you might want it. If you want it, like you could side deck it for like Shifter decks. Would be okay. All right. A-Rock, thank you for the 4 months. All right, I need to do a very quick toilet break, and then I'll be right back. Mr. Spattle, thank you for the 2 months. All right, I'll be right back, and then we do the next deck. Give me a second.